Today is our last day of our series entitled Pressure. Today's lesson is entitled Standing When It Costs. Faithfulness to God will cost you in the short term, but it is always worth it in the long term. Man, we're going to go over these past 3 weeks, all that we've taught, and we're going to look at exactly how Christ stood, well, technically, as he was nailed to the cross, and how he handled that pressure. This and so much more today on PJ Talks.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And again, welcome back. PJ Talks is your host, John, youth pastor from Ohio. Again, today is our last lesson in our series entitled Pressure. It's called Standing When It Costs. I feel off today. I'm tired. I got a weird pain like right here, and when I press it, I can feel my heartbeat. For those of you that aren't watching video, I'm pressing the underneath my chin. I don't know what that's called. Obviously it's my neck, but I don't know. I hurt, I'm a little tired. I feel exhausted, but not physically. I'm just drained. Every ounce of me is just drained. I don't fully know why. I have theories of okay, this could be causing this, could be causing it. Could be a combination of everything. Could just be my diet or lack thereof. So yeah, if you're praying for me, pray specifically that I can get kind of rejuvenated. This weekend I'm going out up to Toledo to watch some monster trucks with my boys and with my dad and my brother-in-laws and my brother. I'm really excited for that, and my nephews. Really, that's my highlight. So I'm excited. I hopefully get rejuvenated then. But yeah, sometimes, man, living a normal Christian life, you just get drained, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you struggle with anything. That's life. And I have to look at the facts, and I have to think on what is true, what is lovely, what is good report, and the God of peace comes over me. I know the fullness of joy and is in his presence, so no part of me is sad or angry or depressed or whatnot. I'm just drained. I'm like, man, I just feel like sleeping. There's a nice little bunny pillow next to me, and I kind of want to record this, and I wish the editing would just take care of itself, because it might just take a nap. No, I'm sorry. It's only 3. Allison, I'm hard at work. All right, let's dive into it. The first thing I have is pressure is temporary. All right, one of the most important truths for the believers is that earthly pressure does not last forever. Daniel experienced exile. He experienced threats. He saw his friends experience a furnace. He experienced a lion's den. He experienced political attacks. He experienced cultural hostility. And yet Daniel outlived multiple empires, which is cool. In Daniel chapter 12, verse 1, it says this. It says, "At that time shall arise Michael, the great prince, who has charge of your people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never has been since there was a nation till that time. But at that time your people shall be delivered, everyone whose name shall be found and written in the book." You see, Scripture does not hide that the reality that pressure does exist. In fact, it says, look, it's going to come. There's going to be a greater pressure than we've ever experienced on that day, but it will always place it inside a bigger timeline. Sure, it's going to come, but overall, it's worth it. It's going to come. It's going to stink. It's going to be horrible, but in the long run, this is what's going to happen. We see this in 2 Corinthians 4. In verse 17 and 18, it says, "For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory." And then in Romans 8:18, it says, "The sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory which shall be revealed in us." In 1 Peter 5:10, it says, "After that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you." Man, this pressure, it has an expiration date. It has an expiration date. It comes, it's for a season, and it passes. Yes, it stings. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it's heartbreaking losing a loved one to your religion. Yes, it stinks losing relationships or losing a job, or you fill in the blank. But it's only for a season. And we know that ultimately all of our needs are taken care of, because that's what God promises us. The second thing I've written down is God sees faithfulness that others ignore. Many times, faithfulness is invisible to others. We saw Daniel, okay? He prayed in his upper room. His prayers were private. He didn't pray out, in the open and say, come on, everybody, hear my prayers. I'm great. He prayed privately, okay? His integrity was quiet. His consistency was daily. Again, it said he went up to his upper room where the windows were open as he had done aforetime, as he's always done. You see, God sees what people miss. We read this in Daniel 12, verse 3. It says, they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. You see, the world measures popularity, but God measures faithfulness. Hebrews 6:10 says, for God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. Oftentimes, we as Christians can feel like, man, we are the only ones doing good. I'm the only one having to experience this. I'm the only one having to take a strong stand here. I'm the only one have to make this awkward situation. But man, God doesn't forget that. He doesn't think that your good works are just absolutely hogwash and nothing. Man, he notices that. He notices you standing firm. He is not unrighteous in that he forgets your work. Rather, he knows you. He knows what you're doing. He sees your labor of love. Matthew 6:4, your Father, which sees you in secret, himself shall reward you openly. He sees you doing good in secret. He's going to reward you openly. In 1 Corinthians 15:50, it says, your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Every unseen act of obedience matters, which is why compromise always costs more than conviction. Throughout Daniel, we see the contrast between those who compromise and those who remain faithful. We see kingdoms come and go. We see empires rise and fall, but Daniel remained steady. He was always there, never moved, right? We see Nebuchadnezzar. He loses his sanity. I think it's in Daniel chapter 4. We see Belshazzar. We see him lose his kingdom in Daniel chapter 5. And Daniel was through it all. He saw all of it happen. We see in Daniel chapter 5, verses 23 through 23. This is Daniel talking. And he says, and you, his son, Belshazzar, have not humbled your heart, though you knew all this. But you have lifted up yourself against the Lord of heaven, and the vessels of his house have been brought in before you, and you and your lords and your wives and your concubines have drunk wine from them. And you have praised the gods of silver and gold, of bronze, iron, wood, stone, which do not see or hear or know, but the God in whose hand is your breath. Man, but the God in whose hand is your breath, and whose are all your ways, you have not honored. Man, that had to cut deep. Belshazzar, you have all of these things. You listen to all these people. You have all these wives, all this money, all this gold, all the drinking, all the food. You have everything, but the one in who gives you breath, you have not listened to. The one who gives you reason to live, who's given you your position in government, who's given you everything that you haven't even honored. You see, ignoring God always leads to loss. Proverbs 14:12 says, there is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. Mark 8:36, what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? And again, Galatians chapter 6, verse 7, it says, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Compromise, when we compromise, it promises comfort. Just be quiet. Just don't say anything. It's going to be okay. Just compromise, and everything's going to be all right. Compromise promises comfort, but ultimately it produces consequences. We see faithfulness leaves a legacy. And Daniel, his greatest impact was not the miracles. It was a lifelong of faithfulness. Man, Daniel served under Nebuchadnezzar. He served under Belshazzar. He served under Darius. He served under Cyrus. And for decades, his life testified to the reality of God. We see this in Daniel chapter 6, verse 4. It says, then the high officials and the satraps sought to find a ground for complaint against Daniel with regard to the kingdom, but they could find no ground or for complaint or any fault because he was faithful. No error or fault was found in him. A faithful life becomes undeniable evidence. We see in Psalm 112, verse 6 says, the righteous shall be in everlasting remembrance. Proverbs 10:7 says, the memory of the just is blessed. 2 Timothy 4:7 says, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Your stand today shapes the story people tell tomorrow. Again, your stand today shapes the story people tell tomorrow. The pressure is worth it. The pain is worth it. It's not the end. Again, you have to remember, you're on the winning side. Jesus said, fear not what man can do unto you, because I have overcome the world. Don't worry about that. We are on the winning side. Sure, right now it stinks. Sure, yep, the pressure is bad. Yep, you might lose a job. You might lose you might lose your kid. You might lose that relationship. Yeah, that really, really stinks. But man, the pressure is worth it. Remain faithful. Remain good stewards of the gift that you've been given. Because here's the thing, we have the ultimate example, and that's Christ. Right? Daniel's story ultimately points us towards Christ, and we see Jesus face the greatest pressure we have ever seen, ever experienced to man. He was mocked, he was falsely accused, he was beaten, and he was crucified. And yet, not once did he compromise. One of my favorite verses is Matthew 26, verse 39. And it's Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. And it's just before he gets captured and betrayed by Judas. And he's praying. And the reason I love this verse is because it's the first time I see Jesus, at least in my opinion, be fully man. I always understood Jesus is fully God, but okay, that trumps the fully man part. It's not until I read this verse that it finally clicked of, there's his human side. Matthew 26, verse 39, it says, and going a little farther, Jesus fell on his face and prayed, saying, my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. God, if there's any way that this doesn't have to happen to me, if there's any way for somebody else to die, if there's any way that this pressure doesn't have to be on me, please let this cup pass. But here's the cool part. And this is where, again, his God part kicks in. It says, nevertheless, not as I will, but as you. Not as I want done, but let your will be done. Man, what an amazing challenge to us. Father, I don't want to lose this relationship with my kid. Father, I don't want to have to lose my job. Father, I don't want to have this awkwardness. Father, I don't want to have to get new friends. I don't have to get a new boyfriend or girlfriend. I don't want to be alone. And we can say, Lord, if there's any way that this doesn't have to happen, Lord, let this cup pass from me. But then you have to end it. But nonetheless, Father, not my will, but yours. Hebrews 12, 2-3 says, who for the joy was set before him, Jesus endured the cross. 1 Peter 2:23, when he was reviled, he reviled not again. He took it. He handled the pressure. Jesus endured the pressure so we could receive salvation. Man, what a convicting thought. Right now, tomorrow, I'm teaching a lesson about the cross and how it was way worse than what we could ever think. And I'm picturing the part of the Passion of the Christ where he's getting beat and he's getting lashed, and he looks over and he sees people, and you can, again, it's not in Scripture, but this is just the movie part of it. But I'm like, man, this wouldn't shock me if Jesus did this. If while he's getting beat, he's worn out and exhausted, he just feels like, man, I'm done. I'm done. Just kill me. He looks over and sees someone and says, you know what? Nope. I need to pay for their sin. Nope. I need to endure a little bit harder. Nope. I need to remain faithful. And we need to remain faithful. Scripture repeatedly calls us as believers to stand firm. Ephesians 6:13 says, "Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand the evil in the evil day, and having done all, to stand firm." Philippians 1:27, "Stand fast in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith." 1 Corinthians 16:13, "Watch ye, stand fast in the faith, quit you like men, be strong." Man, standing doesn't mean perfection. It does not mean perfection. It means persistence. Stand. Day after day after day, stand. And notice here, standing's not fighting. We don't need to fight because Jesus already fought and he won. That's already taken care of. But we need to withstand the pressure. Stand. Remain faithful. So here's my final challenge, all right? The pressure you face today might look like being the only Christian in a conversation, right? Maybe it's refusing to participate in something that is kind of wrong. Maybe it's being mocked for your beliefs. Maybe it's losing popularity, losing opportunities, again, losing a relationship with a loved one for a time. But Scripture is clear. Faithfulness now produces an eternal reward. In Daniel 12:13 it says, "But go your way till the end, and you shall rest, and shall stand in your allotted place at the end of the days." You see, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and Daniel, all of them stood in Babylon. They handled the pressure, and they stood. And because they stood in Babylon, they're able to stand in glory. Man, whatever situation you're in now, you are able to stand because you know one day you'll be standing in glory. So pressure reveals what we believe. Conviction determines how we stand. And eternity proves it was worth it. It was, there's an old hymn. It was worth it all. It will be worth it all when we see Jesus. Man, because every head will bow, every eye will be closed, every knee will bow. Oh, man. Again, there's that song, I Can Only Imagine, pops up in my head. I can't, experiencing that day. Yeah, I can't wait. Because, man, I'm so tired, guys. The Christian life can be very exhausting. It can be very tiring. But, man, don't lose heart. Don't lose heart because it's totally worth it. We have to stand now because the reward is coming. Remain faithful. Have a conviction. Stand. Don't compromise. Determine now what you're going to stand for. And if you're wishy-washy in some areas of, I don't know if I stand in this, I don't know how I need to respond, study it out. Play the scenarios in your head. Ask questions. That's why God has given you teachers. He's given you pastors. He's given you the church to lean on for information. Go to them. Ask questions. Poke around. Get a conviction. Get a biblical conviction about something. And then stand for it. Stand for what's right. Stand for Christ. Thank you so much for joining me on this pressure journey. It's been fun. It's been a nice little charge. It's going to be amped up. I'm going to go out and street preach after it, man. It's getting me excited. And if you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe. Would love that. I think our next series, I don't know what my next series is. I do, but it's not in front of me. So I will find that out later. No, actually, let's find out now. Join me as I open up my laptop here. I can't find my iPad either. So that's why I have my laptop today on my lap. I don't know if you guys can see it or not in the video because, again, I'm recording on my iPhone and I don't really know what the camera's showing. So we'll see. All right. My next series is Fight Night. Okay. We're going to go. I have 4 lessons for that. The fight you can't see. Fighting temptation, fighting for your mind, and fighting from victory and not for it. Oh, I'm very excited for that series. But yeah, that's my next series coming up. Let me know if you guys want me to do a study or maybe you want me to do more of an exegetical study through a book. Would love to do that. Other than that, take care. Thanks for joining us on PJ Talks.
1, 2,